Hi guys, Berthold here. Why am I dressed like a soldier of fortune? Well, because today we're reviewing Casca, the Eternal Mercenary, Book 1 by Sadler. This is a book that my good friend Pat Prescott has been on me to read for I don't know how many years now, and I finally got around to doing it. So Casca is a Roman legionnaire who stabs Jesus Christ on the way to the crucifixion. As a result, he's cursed to wander the earth forever as a mercenary. He will live forever, but as a soldier. He doesn't believe it at first, but then gradually, as he sustains more and more wounds that should be mortal but doesn't die through all these battles and fights he's in, he realizes that, that is in fact his doom. And he's disturbed by this, and he gets kicked out of the Legion, he gets sent into slavery for a time period, he works in mines, he meets a Chinese slave who teaches him, philosophy as well as martial arts. Eventually, he works his way back to Rome, he fights in the gladiatorial games, and wins his freedom. And throughout all this, this ends up spanning like 200 years of Roman history. He should be dead, but he just keeps getting in battle after battle. Eventually he rejoins the Roman Legion after, I don't know how many emperors have lived and died. And he realizes, his curse is just to wander the earth forever. The book starts out in the Vietnam War era, when the doctors find him wounded, apparently a mortal wound, but he recovers. And the book ends with him fighting with Israeli soldiers in Egypt. And he's reflecting back on, I fought here, 2,000 years ago. It's a very interesting theme. Now, as far as what I think of the book, it's not bad. It moves along at a good pace. It's a pretty short read. It does have a fair amount of sexism, misogyny. I can't tell how much of that's the author, how much of it is the time period he's writing in. During the gladiatorial section, there's a bit about Casca's main rival gladiator, who's a black man, who the passages about him are full of just really a lot of racist and misogynist undercurrents. It's some pretty gruesome stuff. Sadler was born in the 1940s sometime, so he would have grown up in 1950s America. I think he had some pretty backward attitudes. That's just my sense of it. Maybe it's more of an issue of he was just trying to convey the sense of the time period. And also there's an element of, by the nature of things, Casca is sort of doomed to confront the worst of humanity and to see just brutal, horrible things. That's kind of the nature of what has happened to him, is that he's going to be confronted by that. But however you want to slice it, whether it's the author's mind, whether it's, the atmosphere he's trying to convey, it's some tough stuff. But generally, I like the concept of the book. I like the idea of an immortal soldier. It's a very powerful concept throughout mythology. You'll see this theme repeated again and again. And it's a very good one, I think. And it sort of works as a metaphor for the futility of war. If one man has to live through war again and again and again, he starts to see it in a different perspective and starts to see how pointless it is. So overall, I thought it was an interesting concept. This, by the way, this is a series of books. There's like 40 or 50 some books. I've only read the first one. They're not all by Sadler. Some first few were by him, some by a ghostwriter. But yeah, interesting. Overall, I thought very interesting concept. So that's all for now. I'll post more thoughts on the blog.